All right. What it do? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Low Battery Gaming, and welcome back to another lore stream. This is episode 2. But this is a Godzilla edition instead of Five Nights at Freddy's. I had made a poll after the first episode to see what you guys wanted to see next, and everybody voted for Godzilla. Now, I don't know too much about Godzilla, so this is going to be interesting for me. I'll get to know a lot more. But yeah. Here we go. First things first, I went to Reddit to see some information. Now, I know that a lot of information that I'm going to be reading in this stream might not be fully accurate, and I apologize. I wouldn't know. I don't know shit. So, I'm just going by what I'm being seen, and if there's anything wrong, if there's any, like, corrections that you want to make, or you know the truth of what I'm being told, then put it in the comments. Yeah, help me. But here we go. So someone here on Reddit asked, I want to dive into the lore of Godzilla. Please help me. So just like me, I want to dive in. So this person said, oh Jesus, here we go. Right when someone said that, right here, this right there. Oh Jesus, here we go. That sounds like something Grim would say. If I like asked him a stupid question or some shit. But this dude says, when it comes back to the lore of each series, we have to look at two very specific dates, March 1st, 1954 and November 3rd, 1954. On March 1st, a legendary picturization of the character first made landfall and near the beginning, where the US and Japanese have been planning to kill him with a hydrogen bomb. Oh, lovely. Basically, it failed, and because of that, Godzilla would be drawn out of hiding 60 years later. Makes sense. Alright. And Toho, so like, I'm gonna try to pronounce every name in this. If it's too much, I'm not even gonna try. But I'm probably gonna butcher every single name that I try to pronounce, and I do apologize. I'm not really good at grammar. Pronunciation. See, grammar and shut the fuck up. In Toho's timeline, Godzilla's first flat-out contact with man began as early as August of the same year, 1954, but a full-on assault didn't happen until November 4th, when he first appeared on Japanese soil. This version of the character actually left behind lethal traces of radiation, exposing those who weren't immediately crushed/killed by his presence. That sucks. As a result, a man named chose to use his oxygen destroyer against the monster in hopes of killing it forever. He manages it, but also kills himself in the process. How very unfortunate. Hey, what is up, Theo? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Here's where things get complicated. Following along with the Showa series, there's somewhat of a running story, same with the series, but Millennium is where things start to diverge. Probably the same thing. Acting more like an anthology than a straight, cohesive story. For instance, Godzilla Final Wars. Guess that's a movie. I've only seen the 2014 Godzilla movie. That's all I've seen, and there's like a fucking there's like 100. Okay, Final Wars is actually more in line with the Showa canon because of its connections with the Zillions? I'm gonna say Zillions until someone tells me what it's actually pronounced. Even Stranger is finding a place for Godzilla in 1998. So apparently that's the movie that was before the 2014 one. So this is the other remake. I think this had Mark Wahlberg in it. I don't know. Anyways, it seems to fit in with GMK, but also ties with Final Wars. Is Grimm here? I don't know. I'm doing this for Grimm, and I don't even know if he's here. Next one's Star Wars, whether he likes it or not. Most films in the Millennium series are tied to the original without connecting to each other, so I just suggest you connect to the dots from here. A lot of the timeline is... Okay, so that's just... Okay, I'm gonna read this right. If I could give you any piece of advice, it would be to watch the movies in their release form. Just enjoy where you are. I've seen Godzilla. Go to. Okay, so they're just saying how they're fans. Okay, I also found. Okay, Godzilla is a giant reptilian created by one of the two. That's weird. A brief summary or some shit. Godzilla is referred to as Muto, massive unidentified terrestrial organism, due to him not having a name at the time. Originally gained his true name from the Pacific Islanders, who referred to him as, according to, meaning whale. So they called him a fucking whale. As most time also refers to sad. Trying to find like backstory or some shit. See if we can get a backstory. Go. Let's see. Every different origin story. What? Painted destruction caused by the atomic bombs that were dropped. 1954 movie was explained that the monster was a prehistoric reptile of some sort who was mutated by the radiation. Seems about right. So now I know. From a nuclear test conducted by the United States military in the Pacific Ocean, the large amount of radiation absorbed by the reptile caused it to grow to a gigantic yeah. Creature attacked Japan but was ultimately killed by a device called the Oxygen Destroyer. The sequel, Godzilla Reigns Again, revealed that two of these reptilian creatures were actually impacted by the atomic bomb test. The first was killed in 1954, but the second survived. This version of Godzilla returned in the Toho films that followed. See, I wanna watch the very first Godzilla. It seems pretty cool. I don't know where to find the first one though. I have to look that up. Okay. Godzilla versus King. What the fuck? Alright, so hold on. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find like a really good like article about this. Not finding too much, but I'll find something. There we go. 10 myths about Godzilla that fans still believe. Godzilla is a dinosaur. Makes sense. I mean, the fuck else is he like? I mean, I get he's like radiation, but like comparisons between Godzilla and dinosaurs are a given considering the close resemblance between the two. However, while some casual viewers could be forgiven for mistaking Godzilla for an oversized T-Rex, The real answer is far more complex. In the original Godzilla, it's explained that Godzilla is a member of an undiscovered prehistoric species of amphibian who was exposed to large amounts of radiation with a hydrogen bomb. This alone discredits the theory that Godzilla is a monster because dinosaurs were not amphibious creatures who could survive underwater. Okay. Yo, what is up, Goku? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. The one exception is this in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, where it's revealed in a time travel sequence that the second Godzilla was a mutated dinosaur that had the characteristics of prehistoric reptiles. Huh. But in most of the movies, though, Godzilla's lineage has remained constantly dino-free. Next myth. Godzilla's origins are always the same. Look at that motherfucker right there. Jesus. Hey, I am doing good, Goku. How are you? You're playing some games? Hell yeah. Which games you playing, Goku? Like Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, Godzilla had to have gotten his powers from somewhere. In most storylines, Godzilla got his powers from nuclear weapons. However, depending on who's in charge of production, that can change on the whim. Lately, filmmakers have toyed with Godzilla's origins, sometimes without the influence of the bomb. 2016 Shin Godzilla, for example, changed the culprit to the irresponsible disposal of nuclear waste. In the recent American incarnation of the classic monster, Godzilla is a sole survivor of a race of titans that lived back when the Earth was bathed in radiation. Godzilla was a sole survivor of a race of titans that lived back when the Earth was bathed in radiation. Jesus. Makes sense. This Godzilla is actually the first in the franchise who was born with his radioactive powers rather than attaining them later in life. Fortnite, hell yeah, Goku. That's great. Godzilla is green. Isn't he green? This largely emerged from North American advertisements for the first film that depicted the monster in a shade of vibrant green. Throughout most of the franchise, though, Godzilla has been shown with gray or charcoal skin. I always thought that he was green. That dude's green. Alright, Godzilla breathes fire. Another misconception that can be traced back to the early advertisements, the idea that Godzilla breathes fire is so common that even some dedicated fans make the assumption. In light of this, Toho is always careful to the point of that Godzilla breathes atomic breaths. Yeah, see, it's like atomic. I don't think that's fire. That shit's like plasma right there. This breath is purported to be extremely hot, able to melt steel on contact. Looks like it. And is Godzilla's first line of defense against his adversaries. In earlier movies, the breath resembled a type of smoke, like the contents of a fire extinguisher. Later movies gave the breath more vibrant colors and even toyed with its intensity. Ain't that some shit? Godzilla is male. No shit. Maybe. Hold on. Makes me question this shit now. God damn it. In English language translations of Japanese Godzilla films, it isn't uncommon for characters to refer to Godzilla as a male. Even this Hey! I didn't do it. Even this article has used he/his pronouns when describing the creature. In Japan, however, Godzilla's gender is less defined. In most movies, characters refer to the Big G. Is that what they call it? The Big G? Hey, what's up, Big G? Look at that. That's what they call you? You big motherfucker. Big G as it. So now you're an it. Okay. The assumption being that his gender is undetermined. Makes sense. Godzilla is always either a hero or a villain. See, I can never tell. Dude looks like a whole villain. While Godzilla may have started life as a villain, many people today consider him as a hero due to the influence of later films in the Showa era. Beginning with Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Godzilla became a protector who defended the Earth from from beasts with ill intent. This is the route Legendary Pictures took when creating the Monsterverse and Godzilla's status as the Alpha Titan. But throughout most of the franchise, Godzilla has existed in a immoral gray area where his status as a hero or a villain is murky. In many of the Showa films of the mid to late 60s and the Heisei films, I'm trying to pronounce. Godzilla was often the lesser of two evils, with the greater threat arising from a larger, more powerful beast. In many of these situations, siding with Godzilla was a last-ditch effort, usually culminating at the very end when all other options are exhausted. Godzilla can't die. Yeah, that motherfucker's Michael Myers. For years, Toho has continued to push the belief that Godzilla is an immortal being that cannot be killed by conventional weapons. While this is mostly true if one ignores the climax of the 1998 remake, I don't know. There were instances in the franchise when Godzilla met his maker. The most obvious of these was when Godzilla was killed by the oxygen destroyer at the end of the first movie. G fans would also that just made me have a stroke. G fans are also very well aware of Godzilla versus Destroya. I think I'm saying that right. When Godzilla died from a nuclear meltdown. Sweet. Godzilla won in the Japanese version of King Kong vs. Godzilla. This is one of the most persistent rumors associated with Godzilla and continues to remain widely believed today. The myth arises out of the fact that the American version of the 1962 film Godzilla vs. King Kong. I just said that completely backwards. I do apologize. Was heavily edited from its original version to make it seem like King Kong won. Following its release, it is inaccurately stated that Godzilla won in the Japanese version, and the English translation was changed at the instance of Universal Pictures, who own the rights of King Kong. In reality, the Japanese version ends in a draw without a decisive winner even being crowned. For years, this ending was only accessible on bootleg or international copies of the movie due to licensing issues. This issue was last year. Thankfully, when the Deterioration Collection released a remaster of the movie with the original Japanese version as a special feature. That's pretty cool. I really want to watch this movie now. I want to see where you can get it. Hey, yo, what is up, CJTV? Yes, give me all the lore you got. I will talk. I will use your lore. Yeah. So now we're on myths, so I can't find any really good lore for Godzilla, so we're going with myths right now. Godzilla versus How the fuck do you say that name? All right, I'm gonna call you Mega Bitch. Godzilla vs. Mega Bitch was a sequel to I'm not really gonna call it that, but yeah, that was a sequel to Godzilla 2000. This one's more of a fan theory than anything else, but some fans have taken it for effect. This is because the Godzilla costume used in Godzilla 2000 was used again in Godzilla vs. Mega in 2000. Usually, suits are only reused if two films are in the same quantity. And there's nothing in Mega that would indicate it wasn't a sequel. But rest assured, Godzilla vs. Mega does not share a time frame with its with the exception of Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla, what the fuck? And Godzilla's Tokyo SOS, there's so many Godzilla movies. None of the films in the Millennium series take place in the same universe. Megagurus. Hey, thank you, CJ. Your stream, I'll be free. All right, CJ, I should be streaming tomorrow, so yes, I will see you. Godzilla's longtime composer refused to score the Return of Godzilla. Really? Japanese composer Akira is best known as the man who conducted the scores for all the Godzilla movies in the Showa era. He's responsible for some of the most iconic tracks in the series, and he created Godzilla's iconic roar. Oh, nice. This is why some fans were concerned when he didn't want to come back to score the Return of Godzilla during the franchise's return to the big screen in 1984. All right. Thanks to a quote that was taken out of context, it was believed for years that he refused to score the movie because Godzilla's height was increased from 50 to 80 meters. This was later revealed to be a joke, and that the real reason he didn't score the movie because he was teaching classes at the Tokyo College of Music. He would later return to the franchise in 1991 for Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and compose the soundtrack for the next 4 films. Nice, nice. Okay, that's that. Myths. Anything else? Misconceptions. Roots. I go with that. All is Godzilla intelligent. Huh. I want to see like the Godzilla timeline. I want to see like what all happened. Okay. That was just the movies right there. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find some. Sorry guys, it's kind of hard just trying to find Godzilla evil. Let's see this real quick. Godzilla has been the main antagonist in many films and is also hostile toward humanity. The only time Godzilla has ever been truly evil is in Godzilla, Mothra, and the... Jeez. All-out attack. Oh my god. A lot. Where he is a mellow and supernatural entity spawned by the restless souls of those killed by the Imperial Japanese military during World War II, who seeks to punish the nation for its past aggression, while Godzilla Earth from the anime trilogy is also extremely hostile and is determined to exterminate humanity and other monsters. He is still presented as a lesser of two evils compared to that city, Mechagodzilla City and Ghidorah. Notably, the Netflix series Godzilla Singular... What? Never heard of that. Depicts him as a beast that was bring the end of the world. In most of his other film appearances, Godzilla is either simply an aggressive force of nature with no true malicious intent, an anti-hero who unintentionally defends the human race by fighting off greater threats. That's what I think he is. An anti-hero with unintentionally, yeah. Or a heroic monster who fights to defend the planet from alien invasions. Nah, I think it's that one. I think Godzilla's an anti-hero who unintentionally defends the human race by fighting off greater. Yeah. He's just like, no, I'm the superior. Monsterverse, Godzilla. Monsterverse. Yeah, that's the Monsterverse Godzilla. So Monsterverse Godzilla have gills. The incarnation of Godzilla featured in Monsterverse has been confirmed to have gills by those involved in designing him. The confirmation comes from concept art notes as well as the following statement from Godzilla designer. One of the first conversations we had about Godzilla agreed that Godzilla is fundamentally impossible. There's nothing you could do to logically rationalize a creature of that size and standing of. We had to take the lead and hope that the audience would take it with us. He's impossible, but it's Godzilla. We were almost detailing him from the outside, which is the opposite to how we usually work, where we design creatures from their environments outwards. We did look at the natural world, including marine creatures. Godzilla spends 99% of his life underwater. Yeah. So we looked at marine iguanas and large. Yeah, adding gills makes sense. In addition, Gareth Edwards himself admitted that this Godzilla has gills. Okay, nice. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to read this back. So I was reading this in the beginning of the stream before I found out everything else about it. If I could give you any piece of advice, it would be to watch the movies in the release order. I go to... Okay. So I really saw the changes in the series and how I handled its greatest creation along the way. Pepper and some. Okay. What? Guys' revenge is worse. They're just saying how what the one lore is kind of a. There's so many Godzilla movies, it's crazy. origins. Now grown to almost 400 feet tall, Godzilla stands as king of all he surveys. Initially thought to be a threat, we now understand his potential to be our world's ultimate guardian. A powering apex predator emerging from the mysterious depths of the ocean to battle aggressors that threaten the balance of nature. Godzilla's pretty cool. I've realized. Oh, that's stream. I'll be right back. All right. The creature designed Titanius Gorza draws its immense power from a bionuclear circulatory system that activates when threatened, triggering a neutron flux. Yeah. That travels up its shard-like back spines to nucleus. I can't read that one. Throat chambers, where it explodes into a directed wave of atomic breath. Though through this remarkable process, Godzilla's roar itself becomes nature's most devastating weapon. Yeah, that shit's crazy in the movies. His roar is definitely something else. Monarch facility designed Castle Bravo was built specifically as a flagship underwater observation base by Monarch to study Godzilla and his natural habitat. Our findings so far have been hard-earned but revelatory. Subaquatic auto captures suggest that the creature utilizes a range of communication frequencies more complex than anything we have imagined. When not enraged into action, the creature is slow, graceful, and inquisitive even. Okay. His size and radioactive signature make him easy to monitor, with scans showing him traveling through various oceanic channels on routine patrol routes propelled by his massive tail. These are sporadic gaps where his signature disappears from tracking logs, and analytics is working closely with our Griffey team to determine the cause. Mr. Brooks's hollow earth theory is gaining more traction because of its finding and is currently leading the ongoing investigation. It is possible that the what the fuck, of these sightings is proximal to a previously undiscovered vile vortex. Nice. Okay. Here, I'll be right back. Godzilla's return, the king of the monsters was given a radically new origin story that deviates from the previously established origin of him being mutated by the hydrogen bomb. In Godzilla 2014, Godzilla is explained by Monarch to be an ancient radiovorous apex predator from the Permian. Permian. Okay, Permian. Think. Period as the planet's natural surface-based radiation began to decrease. Godzilla adapted to survive by diving deep into the ocean and consuming the planet's natural geothermal radiation in a hibernation-like state from its molten core. Godzilla vs. Kong, meanwhile, indicates that Godzilla's atomic biologically and abilities are derived directly from the Hollow Earth's potent blue energized mineral which the Titanous Kong built their temple upon. Oh, wow. Huh. Godzilla species Titanus, Gorgia. Okay. Gojira. Evolved during the period millions of years ago. Though powerful and numerous, they were disseminated by the MUTOs, a species of parasitic titans that prey almost exclusively on them. It's apparent that in the ancient past, Godzilla's kind engaged in direct warfare against the Titanous Kong members, Kong's species in the Hollow Earth. The war resulted in the remaining Kong members being driven out of the Hollow Earth and migrating to Skull Island. Other members of Godzilla's kind are known to have existed throughout time at different points. 2 individuals were killed off different times in vastly different epochs, which preceded MTO caused extinction events by MTO Prime, with one of the Titanus skeletons being found in Siberia, while the other, named Dagon, who was infected by the MTO Prime, BCE, was found in the Philippines. Godzilla himself appears to be the last living member of his species by the events of the films. Godzilla was theorized by him to have been the alpha predator of his ecosystem and prevented other Titan species from overpopulating and overrunning the world. Acting as a force of nature that maintained balance when Ghidorah arrived on Earth, he quickly established himself as a rival alpha to Godzilla. Godzilla and Ghidorah battled each other several times before they took their fight to Antarctica. Holy shit. Which resulted in Ghidorah being buried in ice and Godzilla's victory. Godzilla also shares a symbiotic relationship with Mothra, who aided him in his original conflict against Ghidorah, according to ancient hieroglyphics. Okay. Godzilla was originally worshipped by an advanced prehistoric human civilization who built a vast underground city which is decorated with monuments and murals of Godzilla, which one of which records his and Mothra's ancient conflict with Ghidorah. In the present day, the civilization is long gone, implicitly due to the human war was triggered the last ice age and forced most of the surviving Titans into hibernation, but Godzilla still makes his primary home and refuge in their abandoned city, which is now almost completely submerged underwater in the Hollow Earth, save for geothermally active, there's a big words, and severely large air pockets where Godzilla can feed and replenish himself. Oh. Okay. There's a lot to get into. So I will pick this up in part 2 of Godzilla. I believe episode 3 of our lore series will be Star Wars, so stick around and stay tuned for that. Me and Theo are both very excited about that one. I will probably have him on commentary. I will see if he's cool with that. I'm sure he's still watching. But that being said, thank you all for joining on episode 2 of Let's Talk Lore, and I got to know Godzilla a lot more than what I've only seen the first 2014 movie, and I don't really know much, but now I know some. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for some more content from all of us here at Low Battery. Yeah, have a great night, and see you around. What's up, guys?